What's up, guys? My name is Liza. A lot of you know me by Lala. A lot of people know me by Lala. I'm just here just talking. I don't know. I've been blogging. I think that my life is hilarious. I think I'm a funny going person. I think my kids are hilarious. I'm a mother of four. I'm 31 years old. And no, I'm not a single mother, but I do have a situation where our circumstances are that I've been raising my kids alone for a year and a half. So things become very, very different when you raise kids alone. You know, I'm so grateful for the things that I did have a year and a half ago, because when you do have these things, you don't even appreciate them. And then when they're gone, now I realize, how tough it really is. I've been with my husband. I've been married since I was, 8 years. I was pretty young, and now that I'm a little older, I'm realizing that the things that I thought I wanted that were gonna make me happy are not the things that makes me happy. I'm really not happy because of those things. What I am happy about is my family, my kids, my relationships, my myself knowing what I want, what makes me happy, like as an individual, as a spirit, as a soul. So I think I'm just bringing this up just to talk and just to see who can relate to me. And I think I struggled for a long time. And even just so recently, I struggled because I thought that I wanted things that I didn't really, really know that I didn't need. I thought I wanted material things. I thought that being happy was having all these things, living in this luxury house, having a nice ass car, just material things that I didn't realize, honestly, that I took for granted was having my family happy, having me happy. Like there was a long time it took me. I'm 31 now. I'm 31 and I have 4 kids. Right. And now that I'm alone and I don't have I'm not alone. Me and my husband are still together. I just meaning alone that my husband and I are not under the same household. So that it took me for a long time to realize that, damn, I was blessed to have what I did have. And now that I don't, it's not a struggle, but it's hard mentally to deal with 4 kids alone. And I became more of a victim than to be really, really realize what I had, and now I'm just like, I've isolated myself. From a lot of people. I've taken myself away from everybody. I've been just me and my kids, and that's it. I haven't bothered with anybody. I've just decided to take my own time to really, really get to know me as a person and as a spirit in whole, because I'm just like, I was going through a path that I was just unhappy. And although I was smiling and all these things, I was so unhappy with myself. I had no idea what was it that was bothering me, but I was unhappy. And then that caused my relationship to be unhealthy. It caused me to I was always angry, and every little thing would trigger me, and it was because I was so unhappy with decisions and choices that I was making. And I didn't realize that until now. So it's I just figured maybe I can share this with somebody, maybe I can just share it and this is just my story. It's not something to get rich off of. It's not something to brag about. It's just something that I feel like I can talk to people and people can relate to, Me being, I'm from New York. I was born in the Bronx. I was raised in Washington Heights, and I met my husband at the age of 21, and I'm married at 22, and I've been married since, and now I'm 31, and here I am raising 4 kids, alone. And it's not what I planned, it wasn't a plan that I had. So things happen in life that, you think it'll break you. And in no reality, it's just things that we put ourselves through. These are things that we make these decisions, and the outcome of the decisions are things that are out of your control. So I say, now these days, I put myself in a bubble, and I put myself in this bubble because I wanted to deal with my own emotions before I can have anybody's put on me. So like basically my decisions, So long story short, let's just bring it up like this, okay? So I've been blessed with a great family. My husband, I met him a couple years before we got married, and I met him due to his ex-girlfriend. She introduced us, and we just became friends from there, and then we lost contact. And from there, we met again. We ran into each other in a nightclub, and we hit off. We started hanging out. We became good friends, and a little while later, maybe about 8 months later, he proposed to me in Vegas, and we ended up getting married that same weekend. Some crazy shit, just crazy things. And it was just, I've been so grateful. We've been on a great path. And everything's not peaches and cream. Everybody's not always happy, Everybody fights, everybody argues, everybody has disagreements. And, at the end of the day, I think we lasted this long because I realized, he's not going to think like I think. I'm not going to think like he thinks. You know, there's a way to come to a mutual agreement and understanding where he can be like, okay, he's not me. He's his own person. I'm not him. I'm my own person. So if he see things his way, I can respect that because I love him enough to be like, okay, if that's how you feel, we can let that, you know, I can work on this or you can work on this, you know. So it's called compromising, and it's also called communication as well. It took us a long time to get there. I know everybody's like, oh my God, they swear that we're just like the best couple and the greatest couple. I get people inboxing me all the time how sweet I look and how great my family looks, and you know, just giving us great compliments, you know. But at the same time, it hasn't always been peaches and cream, and that's okay for me too, because I think I take it all. I take the good and the bad with it. But I'm at a space right now where I'm just like, I'm happy. I'm so happy. And when I say happy, I don't say like happy because I'm just saying it. No, I'm happy because I'm mentally content where I'm at in life. I'm mentally okay. And I was going through a hard time. I put myself through a hard time for a whole year. And I just realized recently, just, you know, I made those decisions. I put myself through these things, me and my children, because I've been doing this by myself with my kids for a year. So, I guess I'm just talking just to say, you know, like I know that where I come from, everybody thinks that, you know, having material things and like it's all a competition thing, you know. And at this point, I'm just happy just living my life how I live it, just doing things how I want to do it without having to worry about anybody's, you know, opinion about anything that I do. I'm not the perfect person. I'm not. I'm going to make mistakes. I've made so many mistakes that I was so angry with myself. I was so angry for so long that anger became just making me, it made me so unhappy all the time. So, I worked on myself. I took a lot of time to just sit back and work on myself. I spent time with my kids. I got to know my kids better. I got to know me better. I got to know myself. I got to know what I want now. I see things so much clearer. Like there's so many things that I see clearer now that it's like crazy. I'm so content with where I'm at. There's times that I can just be like, you know, just home all day and just probably all week and just not go out, just be home, cooking, cleaning, doing these mommy things that before used to drive me crazy, that I used to be like, okay, I want to go out. I want to do things. I want to go hang out and, you know, have drinks and do this and do that. And now I'm okay. I don't even drink anymore. I'm just like, I'm okay with being home and doing these things. Like I think I took it taken for granted. I know that, you know, I have a whole life to live, you know, and things don't have to be so fast. I don't have to live this fast pace. I don't have to be in the same pace as everybody else. So I think that I isolated myself from a lot of people. I haven't spoken to anyone. I've been to myself. I barely talk to my husband, and I feel like it's because I'm on this path where, you know, he's a great husband, but he may not understand my path that I'm on, you know. And then him knowing me so long, you know, like everybody, just in general, all my relationships, anybody that I've come encounter to, they've known me for so long as being this one person, that the change that I have made and all this work that I have made on myself, this is hard for them to see because they remember me being that other person, you know. And people change, you know, and it's hard for people to believe that people change, you know. And don't get me wrong, I still like to hang out. I still love these things, but I think at this point in time in my life, I'm just at a point where I feel like I want more. I want better. I want to, you know, just know me. I want to know me. I was so unhappy, and I'm at a point right now where I'm so happy, and I'm so thankful that I've taken this time. I had this thing that it's called the spiritual awakening, and it helped me wake up and realize so many things, and I did so much research, and I've had so much time to spend alone and just realize that a lot of things that I did and a lot of anger and all these bad choices that I was making, I put myself through so much shit that I could have avoided. And it was just like, it was my own insecurities. It was my own self doing these things to myself. So I figured I'd just make a video about it and see how this shit goes, you know. Like I said before, I'm actually from the Bronx. I was born in the Bronx. I was raised by I moved to Washington Heights when I was 12, and then I stood there till I was like 19, you know, and from there I just went and I moved on and I did my own things, you know. I did things that I could say I'm proud of. I can say I'm not proud of. I say that it made me who I am. It's just, there's no regrets because there's no right or wrong in anything that we do in life, you know. I just feel like sometimes we put ourselves through things that, you know, that causes us hurt and causes us pain. And it's things that we can avoid as far as, you know, making better decisions and choices. But I'm not here to preach. I'm here to just give, you know, my own journey and just explain that and just probably see what you guys think about it and, you know, see who can relate, like I said, you know. With that being said, you know, I had I've been married for 8 years. I've been married for 8 years. I had 4 kids and beautiful kids, and I had a great house. We had nice cars. We had beautiful nights out and eating at 5-star restaurants. We enjoyed our life so much, like so much to the fullest. It's been a great experience. It's been a great experience, and still, I found myself still unhappy. I found myself always fighting with my husband, always being upset and always screaming, always angry. Even with my kids, I was like so triggered so fast, and I'm just like. And then it made me more unhappy, and I would just drink and I would just try to numb that pain because I was so unhappy, and it was because I was doing these bad things and making these bad decisions. Then I realized I was screaming so much, I was hurting my kids from screaming. Then I was hurting my husband from putting him through these things, and screaming at him and always, fighting with him and just in general with anybody. Like I was so triggered with everything. Like I thought I was right about everything, and I noticed now that I wasn't, and I realized that a lot of my anger was because I knew that I was wrong. I knew that I was wrong, and there was a lot of things that I could have done better. And by the time I noticed it, it was already too bad. It was already too deep in, and nothing is ever that you can never change. Like a person can change. You can do better, and I just feel like where I come from, we all we see somebody else doing better, and we just want to do like them, and I'm at a space now where I realize, I was by the time I was 17, I was already stripping every club that you can name. I was in, I was everywhere. I had so much money before I was at a certain age that I thought that was the life that I thought that was the best life, and then I started hanging with these people that were doing so good and making so much money, and I just thought about money. People think that money makes you happy. I thought that that was the life that we were, that it was the best life to live. And I come to a realization that there was way more things that I could have done with that money. Like I could have enjoyed it so much better. And then I started having kids, and I started having kids, and it honestly dawned on me just not so long ago that I changed my whole life, my whole way of looking, whole way of thinking at life because of them. Because of them, and because of my husband. I mean, I've been with him for so long, and not until a year and a half ago I didn't realize how blessed I was to have him. Being from where I came from, my childhood was shit. My parents were shit. I came from nothing. I had no morals. I had no upbringing. My upbringing, all I saw was trauma. All I saw was shit. It was shit. My family didn't teach me the best. And I thought that I wanted better, and I always wanted better for my kids. So I started a whole new family. I forgot about everybody. I just decided to just moved to Jersey and just started a new family with my husband, and I thank him a lot, and I give him, a lot of credit, and it's more because he's older than I am, and he comes from a family where they're, they just love each other, and they're about family, and they're nothing like what I came from. So I kind of I learned a lot off of that, and I thank him today for the parent that I am. I think twice. I don't leave my kids anywhere. I'm just all the time. You catch me with my kids. I'm always with my kids. They're always with me, and it's been like that for their whole life. And I can't just drop them. That's not what I do. So I'm just grateful for him, and that brings me to say, my husband's he's a very personal person. He doesn't like his personal business out there. Me, I'm an open book. We're so different. But at the same time, we're so the same. I'm an open book. I really don't care for people to know what's going on with me. I took a long time. This past year, I've noticed that I've tried to hide my struggles. My struggles within myself, my struggles financially, my struggles just mentally. Because I thought that, people, and it's true, people bash you about it. People love to see your downfall. And then I thought, damn, I had so much. I came from so much, and I succeeded in so much. I had a great house, a great car, a beautiful husband, beautiful family. And just one day, it was all just... It wasn't taken away, but it was separated, My husband got deported, and it just became, I never thought that could happen to me. We never thought, we lived our life so happy and so great, and we had so many things, and just lived in the moment that we didn't think about the future. We didn't think about the future. We didn't think about the past. We were just at that standstill, we were thinking about today, and that was what it was, So, my husband got deported, and that shit just made everything change. It just brought everything change, and I think change is what people are afraid of, and people meaning myself. I became afraid of what was gonna happen, and how I felt like I started thinking about how I lost myself, and I was living in his shadow, and I didn't realize that I wasn't living in a shadow. I wasn't living in a shadow. I was just I was building a family. I was building a foundation, and we were doing it together as a team, you know. And I think I couldn't let go of a lot of shit that we went through, you know. Like, as a couple, people go through things, and I know a lot of people see me like on social media, and I get, like I said, I get a lot of messages about how great, you know, my family looks, and how grateful, how blessed I am, and all these things, and how this girl just the other day was like, wow, you got a great husband and all this stuff. And, you know, he hasn't always been great, and I haven't always been great, and our relationship hasn't always been great. But one thing is that we always stood by each other, because we loved each other, and we had so much chemistry, and so we had a lot. We went through so much. With that being said, I'm bringing this up to be like, okay, I went through a lot. And like I said, I put myself through a lot this past year. I made decisions just based off my thoughts, not thinking with my heart, not thinking with things that I know, not mentally, not consciously thinking and making choices. I was just making choices just to be like, oh, I can do this by myself without anyone. Not only him, just without anyone. I thought that I could just take my kids and I could make it. So I took myself and I moved to Peru. I moved to Peru for 5 months, and I didn't let myself be happy. I went over there and I was so unhappy. I see myself making him and the kids unhappy. And I thought that coming back would make me happy. I thought that me being on my own 2 feet, standing on my own 2 feet would make me happy, you know, and just showing him that I can do it on my own, you know. And I realized, you know, that I put myself, my kids, him, I put my family, just us in general, because for me, my family is me, him, and them, and, you know, my girlfriend. I'm just like, everybody else to me are outsiders. So I'm thinking, like, I put us through so much, and it wasn't only me. We all took part in it, but I take responsibility for what I did, because when you're in a marriage, I realized that you guys stick through it no matter what. So me coming back, you know, he's in Peru, I'm over here, you know, and it's been a struggle me doing it by myself, and it's been so hard. And I realized how grateful I am for him, because, you know, he helped me a lot with the kids, just on daily basis. You know, he did food shopping. He did things that let me stay at home and be a mom with these kids, you know. He let me enjoy all these moments, and still, I don't work. I don't have to worry about anything. I have a nice apartment with my kids, still drive a nice car. I don't worry about money. My bills are always paid. If I want something, I have it. There's nothing that I can say that I need. I'm content with what I have and the space that I am in. And I give him a lot of thanks for that. I give him a lot of thanks because thanks to him, I was able to take this time to work on myself. And it took me 31 years to deal with all these emotions and all these trauma and all these things that I went through in my life, and to realize that I am not a victim. I am definitely not a victim. You know, I put myself through all that stuff. All those relationships and all these things, like everything that I went through was horrible. I did it myself, and it made me so angry with myself. But at the same time, you know, you have to deal with that anger in order to move forward. So, that's what I just have to say. I just wanted to talk about these things and just see if anybody can relate and just wants to reach out. And I'm here just like to give consejo, and just, you know, anybody need advice or anything, they can come. I know this world sucks these days, man. It's like I don't even want to go outside, because I'm just like, I don't want to feel anybody's energy. Like, I've done so much spiritual work that I'm like, right now I could go stand in a room and I can feel everybody's energy. Like, I'm so entwined with nature and with myself that right now I just want to be by myself. I don't want to be around people, because I can feel everybody's energy. I can feel their pain. I can feel your sorrows. I can feel what you're going through. I can see your past, and I can see what you're about. And I'm just like, I can feel your aura in general. And so I try to keep myself at a minimum, like who I go around and what I go around and why I'm around these people. And is this even right for me? Like, should I even be with these people, or do I even know these people? Like, I feel like I'm such a different person these days that I don't even know myself sometimes, that I'm just like, things that I thought I loved and that I enjoyed, I realized I didn't. I still don't even like those things, you know? One thing I can say is that I've always been the same person. I'm still happy. I'm still funny. I still love being energetic. I still love joking around and, you know, doing what makes me happy still, you know. But at the same time, I know what makes me happy. I know what journey I need to take. And I know that, And I always know that there's always way worse, like now I'm okay with things not happening, like for example, I'm supposed to be in Peru. I haven't seen my husband in a year and a half and some change, maybe a year and 2-3 months. And and I'm upset with myself. Like I had to literally deal with that, with being upset with myself, because I'm the one that left. I'm the one that came back over here, and then all this stuff happened, and just, they closed down the airports, and my kids haven't seen their dad in so long, so I know that I put them through that, and I have to take responsibility for that. So that was another thing, like it's hard when you go through deportation, you don't know how your life is gonna turn out, and people don't think it's gonna happen to them. And I'm like sitting here like, look at me. We had everything. We still have what we have, but we had everything. We had a great family. We have a great family. We just, things just happen, and you make choices thinking you think what you right is wrong, and it's just like sometimes it's wrong. So I've made so many mistakes, and I'm just here to talk about it. I'm here to say what's right and what I've done, and how I've learned from it, how I've grown from it, and just what I can do moving forward, And I'm going to show a little glimpse of my kids and our everyday lives and how we go back and forth. And people are like, I have 2 kids that are vegan, and people are like, what do you feed them kids? Like, what do they eat? And they eat. My kids eat. I make sure I feed them good and healthy. And with that, people see me and they think that I'm just like, they think of me being a stripper, They don't see the things that I do behind that. It's behind the scenes, like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I jumped back in, I dived back in here and there, and I dived back out. But I'm way bigger than that. I'm a bigger person than that. I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 4. Who you think raised them? My kids are healthy. My kids are happy, and I'm happy. I'm healthy. My family's healthy. I'm in a good space now, and I thank God that I had the time to sit back and really spend this time with my kids. I don't have to go to work. I don't have to, and I don't agree with a lot of things, that the government has going on. So I feel like if I don't have to work and I don't have to work for the government and do these things, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the way my life is going and how it's turned out. I wish that I could change a few things, but at the same time, I needed to go through those things to be where I am today, So I'm very grateful for that. I also wanted to say, that before anything, I'm a mom. Before anything, before I can hang out, before I can go anywhere, before I can do anything, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is brush my teeth and feed my kids. It's more to life than just your everyday thing that you see on social media. Yeah, I know I'm beautiful. Yeah, I know that I'm blessed, and yeah, I know that I do things, that I go out and I do things. I have fun with my friends and I do things like that. But I also my day-to-day basis is not getting up and running to the street. That's not my thing. I'm so happy to be home. Like, that's my thing. I love being home with my kids, and just, for me, my happiest moments is when my house is clean, my laundry's clean, my fridge is full, and my kids are bathing in bed. Like, that's my favorite time of the day, is when, everybody's in bed and everybody's bathed, and just, that's just me. That's just what I am. That's how I am. That's how I've been for a long time. And I didn't know that that's what I wanted until just recently. I didn't know that that's what I really wanted in life. I really don't care to be out splurging. Yeah, I got Gucci and all this fucking Louis shit. I got all that. I drive a Benz. I don't care about those things. I don't care about those things now. Yeah, I walk around with a lot of jewelry and, expensive things. But at the same time, that's not me. That's not what I care about. I used to love those things. I thought that that's what I loved. And I thought but at the same time, that was things that make me unhappy. I'm happy now. I'm happy because I know who I am. I know that I'm great. I know that I'm beautiful. I know that I'm powerful. I know that anything that I put my mind to, I know that I can achieve. And that is why I'm doing this YouTube channel. I did this YouTube channel because I learned a lot. I went through a lot. I've experienced a lot in life. And I just feel like I could have done better. I don't want to blame anybody for anything that I went through. I went through a lot of shit with my mom when I came back from Peru. And I sit here and I be like, I knew better. I shouldn't have went there. I didn't want to depend on my husband, so I tried to, depend on my mom, and I knew that was going to be a fail. So I don't blame her for any of it. I also think, like, my attitude is, like, nobody can take me out of character other than me, So that's another thing that I learned, I learned who to give my energy to, You don't have to give your energy to everybody. I also learned to value myself, I learned to value who I am and my body and just me. I feel like my body is a temple. I feel like the things that I did to it, drinking, just, having sex with people, just things that I did in my past, I'm just like, it made me more unhappy because I didn't appreciate what I have. Now I'm just happy with my body. I'm happy with who I am, my mental state. I'm happy with just waking up. I meditate 3 times a day if I can. I meditate sometimes more if I can. I'm entwined with my spiritual guides. I'm just with my higher powers, my higher beings, and I'm just like in a space now where to the normal person, you'll be like, they would think I'm crazy. But at the same time, it's like when you have time to do these things and you sit back and really embrace the universe in whole as a whole, it's such a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I think that's what made me happy. Me entwining with the universe, me really taking the time to sit back and really sitting in the grass and meditating on the grass and taking my feet out and putting them on the grass and just entwining with the world and being able to go to Miami and DR and Peru and seeing these different cultures and Vegas and just everywhere, meeting all these people and seeing all these different people. And one thing I realized everybody has in common is like everybody wants what the next person has. And it's very rare for people to not want those things, you know. And like I said, there's a lot of people that need to go through this spiritual healing for them to realize that in life, there's way more to life than just those material things, you know, or being blessed. That's not being blessed. You know, you can have all those things and still mentally. I know a lot of people that are still mentally unhappy, unstable, making stupid ass choices and putting themselves through things that it doesn't make any sense, you know. So I'm in a space now where I don't give a shit what anybody says about me. You know, before I used to say that, but I didn't mean it. Before I used to say, oh, I'm happy, and I didn't mean it. Before I used to say I love myself and did not know what the fuck that really meant. And at this point in life, I do love myself. I am very happy. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm happy with the decisions that I made. I'm happy my kids are vegan. I'm happy that they're not around people. You know, I'm sorry that they're not around family and that they don't understand why they're not around family. But at the same time, they are so loved and so blessed. And they have so many different life lessons that I'm teaching them that they can never understand the struggles that I went through and the reasons why I'm like that. The way I am with them, you know, I cradle them and I have them. And sometimes it's not a good thing. Sometimes I let them go through things that I'm like, you know, shit, I could have probably avoided, but fuck it, they need to learn it, you know? So it's like, I'm okay with them learning things on their own because at the same time, me and my husband, we've isolated them. We've had them this little thing that they, you know, they didn't know how to appreciate things because they had it all given it to them when they were born, and we didn't think we were spoiling them. We just thought, fuck it, we had it. My husband's saying was like, why not give it to them? We already have it, you know, like, why not? You know, so it was just like we gave them everything and they didn't realize that they had everything and they didn't realize how blessed they were until this situation happened when me and my husband separated for a little while. Then they realized, you know, wow, mommy's struggling. They see me crying. They see me unhappy. They seen us bouncing from house to house, you know, and it was all because of my pride because I always had a house. My husband always had me good, and I just wanted to prove to him and everyone else that I can do it by myself. And in all reality, I realize now that it's hard to do it by yourself. It's tough. Although I did it, although I struggled, and although I made it happen, it still was hard. And I'm grateful to now not be going through those things and having myself in a space where my kids can see me happy. My kids are happy, you know, and we're just happy as a whole. So that's just my main, you know, my main goal is to just maybe just spread the love and show you guys that, look, I came from the hood. I came from the same place you guys came from. And my morals are different. I seen a better. I want better. I always wanted better. And I'm just like, you know, you don't have to be a product of your environment. You don't have to be doing as good as the other person. You, as long as you're happy with yourself and really happy inside, that's okay. So I say this to say, don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. At this point in time in life, even my video, I'm more than sure everybody's going to have something to say about it. People are going to have negative thoughts about me. People are going to say bad things about me. Yeah, like I said, I'm not perfect. I've done a lot of crazy shit in my life. I've done some fucked up shit that I'm so regretful for. But at the same time, I can't take it back. There ain't shit I could do about it. All I can say is that I've learned from it. I've learned from it, and I'm so sorry for the things that I've done. I'm so sorry. I'm regretful, and I can't change it. It made me who I am today, and it helped me grow. It made me become the person that I am. And with that being said, maybe subscribe and follow my YouTube channel. I'm sure that you guys will see a lot of things that you guys will find hilarious. I'm sure you guys will see a lot of things that you can relate to, just in general. I'm an open book. You guys can ask whatever you want. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not the richest person in the world, and I've lost it all. I lost it all, and I gained it back, and I gained my sanity back. And this is the one time in 31 years. I'm 31 years old that I can say I'm happy. I'm happy with myself. I'm happy with my choices I've made today. I'm blessed that I woke up today. I'm grateful for everything that I have, and I'm literally grateful. Like, I think my higher spirits, everything, all these signs that they showing me, all these things, these lessons that I've learned, I'm thankful for it. And I'm thankful for my kids' health. I'm just happy with them. I know that a lot of times I used to want to hang out and be like, oh man, I got all these kids. What am I going to do? I can't do this. I can't do that. And now I'm just like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Who gives a shit I got all these kids, Who gives a shit nobody's here to help me? I made these kids. They didn't ask to be raised. Nobody got to help me with these kids. These are mine. So I feel like, if you feel like you're down in the dumps, if you feel like, you've made fucked up choices, if you feel like you're not where anybody else is in life, it takes time, baby. There's no rush. Take your time and enjoy your life. Just, get to know you. That's all I can give. That's the best advice I can say. Is before you want to be in a relationship, before you want to be a mom, before you want to do anything, get to know yourself. Get to know you, what you like, what makes you happy, what you as a person wants. Because you can't make nobody happy without being happy yourself, and I learned that from my own experience. I could pretend to be happy. I could be happy daily, wake up and be like, yeah, I'm happy today, and just say it, but not really feel it. So now I'm at a place where I'm happy, I sit around and I think everybody has an opinion. Everybody's going to have an opinion about everything. I live my life, people calling me all kinds of names and saying bad things about me and all these things. The one thing that I can say that I'm very proud of is that I've always been a number one, best mom that I can be. So that's the one thing that I can say. But other than that, people got something to say about the way I dress, about the way I do things, and how I walk around, how I joke, how I say too much, I don't have no filter. People always going to say something, People always going to say something about the choices you make, and that was one of the reasons why I isolated myself from everyone. I literally took myself and put myself in a bubble for months now. Like, I know my family must be wondering, what the fuck is going on with this girl? I haven't seen her in months. I haven't heard from her in months. Haven't seen the kids in months. But I did this for myself. I did it because I knew that if I had anybody's opinion tossed on me, that would be, it's a conscious thing. You're constantly thinking about what other people would say. Even though you might not give a shit, you're still going to think about, okay, with this person. Even with this YouTube channel, I've been thinking about it for months. And I didn't do it because I'm like, what is my husband going to say? He don't like people knowing his business. What is his family going to say? They're private people. What is anybody going to say? What is my family going to say? They have no idea what my life is. All they know is that my husband got deported, so I say that to say, we go through shit and you can't judge people, I'm at a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm okay with letting it go. I'm okay with letting all relationships go. I'm the type of person that I can have a friend today and they can be gone tomorrow, and I can be okay with that. I'm okay with losing a person that I thought was my friend. I'm okay with just being myself and being by myself. I'm okay with myself. I don't need anybody else. And I feel like, if you can really, really get to that place in life, not everyone's going to get there, but if you can, that shit is the best feeling ever. I'm still my person. I'm still who I am. I'm still fucking, I curse like crazy. I'm still ghetto as hell. I still got things that I like. I still, I'm just more now aware of my surroundings, aware of my energy, who I give it to. I'm aware of a lot of things choices that I make. I don't jump the gun fast, and I realize that I can have a conversation with somebody and realize where I'm going with them. Like, I can sit here and be like, express something to you, and your outcome, like the way you come back to me, I can sit here and be like, listen, this is the done conversation. We're done. I can cut them off that same day. Why? Because I know that this person has a lot of work to do on themselves, just off the way that they react to things, and that I'm using that as an example, like even for my husband, there's things that we can go back and forth about before, and now I can walk away from it and just be like, it is what it is. If that's what he thinks, that's what he thinks. He's entitled to his own opinion. But at the same time, I worked on myself, and I know that for me as a person, I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. So I'm sorry if this hurts your feelings, but at the same time, I care about me and my feelings. Your feelings, I'm selfish now. Your feelings mean nothing to me. So that's where I'm at this time in life. You know, I spend time with my daughter. I've been doing TikToks. You know, click the link below, follow my TikToks, you know, follow my Instagram, and just, you know, take a look at my life, take a look at how we lived, you know, and just how, you know, in general, my journey. This is just my journey, and we're all spiritual beings, you know, and this is just a journey that we're just right now reincarnated and living this life, you know. So in the next life might not be as bad as it is this time. Maybe next life is gonna be better, and at the same time, maybe today you hearing this message can help you better your life, you know. It can help you do better for tomorrow, and so on and so on, you know. Another thing I learned is to not live in the past, you know. I lived with a lot of guilt. I lived with a lot of guilt in life, bro. Like, I couldn't let it go. I was so guilty about a lot of things. I felt so guilty about things that I did, things that I said, and just, I held on to that shit. I held on to it for years. I literally been dealing with things now that I dealt with from when I was a child, and I'm like, holy shit, I lived my life thinking I don't give a shit about it, and I really did care about it, you know? So it's like, if you work on yourself and you work hard, you know, you can get to where you want to be in life, you know. But also, with that being said, I'm going to show you some videos of my babies and me, and how we laugh and joke, and how my life is so great. You know, my life is so great. Even with the bad times, it's so great. And you're going to see footage of greatness. You're going to see footage of sadness. You're going to see footage of just everything in general, everything in life in general, all the good things, all the bad things, all the sad things, all the emotional things, and just things that I deal with. Things that I deal with, that I'm sure that you deal with, and I'm sure that somebody in this world, anybody else can deal with also, that has been dealing with, and this can lighten it up for you, you know. So with that being said, I'm gonna keep posting every week. I'm gonna let you guys see what our life is about. I also want us to leave that with anybody have any questions, anybody have any advice that they need, or anything that they want to just express, or just anybody to talk to, you know, you can follow my personal page. Is LalaSexy1 on Instagram, and my TikTok is official Mama Liza. Yeah, and I'm just on TikTok with my daughter, just doing, you know, foolish things, and just learning myself again with her, you know, and just letting her see that I can be as cool as she needs me to be, and I can also be as a parent to her as well, you know, and I can also be a friend to her if she needs that, you know. So there's a lot that I can teach you. There's a lot that I'm learning. There's a lot that we can just go on this journey together. And if you feel like you can relate to me, or just anything in general, you know, we can just go on this journey together, and we can just talk about it and just be about it together, you know. With that being said, thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Take care.